there. This is Ralph Ann here for another 15 minutes of fame. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is exciting. So, I am here with the very beautiful Kim Matherly that I met actually virtually on Facebook. I'm not sure when, maybe it's been a while ago.
Mm.
And then she was one of the contestants in the Miss Photogenic Model Search that I've been working on since March. She was actually one of our Charlotte semifinalists that actually won her region for People's Choice. I want to say it was like 460 votes.
Like five, no, it's like 582, like
It
five.
was
Yeah, yeah.
closer to 600. I know. So anyway, yes, that's so funny. So, a little fun fact, we're continuing our Pageant Queen Series. Kim is our today's International World Lifetime Queen, which explains the crown. But everybody, this is Kim Matherly. Kim, tell everybody a little bit more about yourself, if you would.
Well, I am a mom of two beautiful children. One, my son is 32. My daughter is 26. She just turned 26. I have two beautiful grandchildren. Wesley is 7 and Mackenzie is 5. They are my light of my life. Pageantry is one of my passions. I've grown to love doing pageantry. I didn't start until later on in my life, in my later years, like last 6 years, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, but it's been fun. It's not what I thought it would be. I thought at that point when I started, and I'll do one and that'll be it. But no, here I am 6 years later, and 8 state titles, 1 international title, and now a lifetime queen title. So
That's fun.
it's
Yes. So
been,
you caught the pageant bug that many of us
yep.
call it, which is which it happens. And would you say your experience, and I know we both represent the plus size community, so I love that we have that in common. We also represent that, we both have the fact that we represent women over 50. When we
Right.
met in Charlotte, I was in the 40 club, and since then, now I'm in the 50 club. So tell me, like, how that's been, because I think that you are a wonderful representation of the plus size community and also the 50 club. So, how was your perception before you got into pageants? Like, did you think that that was a thing, or?
Well, I've been in pageantry throughout my daughter. I started her when she was 10 months old.
Wow.
Um, and I've always wanted to do pageantry, but I never felt I had the personality, well, not really the personality, but the body figure and the body type or the confidence to actually do that. Um, so, in the people's eyes and the perception that we've gotten from the world is you have to be tall and skinny to be in pageantry.
Hmm.
That's just what everybody sees. And because you don't see anything on national television with a plus curvy woman,
Right.
you just don't see it. And then even with women my age, I'll be 53 in August, and you don't see, or when you talk pageantry to somebody of my age or older, they don't pay no attention to it, or they're like, "You're too old to be in pageantry." Like, no, I'm not.
Right.
You would
Right.
be surprised of women older than we are that does pageantry and does very well doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And
have a few. Yeah, we had a few still in the Miss Photogenic competition, which
yeah,
I love because I do feel like we represent all age, all ages.
right,
Which I like to do too, is changing perception of beauty. Beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And
exactly.
so, and I love that our platforms kind of intertwine. Me being a women's empowerment advocate, you being a huge ambassador of the I Am Enough platform, which I absolutely love. So tell everybody what that means, what that means to you and how, that intertwines with your pageant experience.
So when I started pageantry, again, I started it because my ex-husband left me because I had lost weight. I needed to do something for myself, my health. I had grandchildren coming along. So I started losing weight. Well, to get my self esteem back and my self confidence back, after being put down all my life about my weight, my size, my shape, um, I had a friend of mine reach out to me about doing a pageant for the first time. And I was probably in my 40s, late 40s when I did it. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it and see.
Mhm.
Um, so I did my first one, and it was in Georgia. I won the state, and then I was first runner up in the nationals. So, okay. So it had brought me to a point in my life to where I was getting a little bit more confident of being on stage and being around people, um, and starting to embrace my curves where I haven't done that in over all these years. I mean, it's taken me a lot of time to actually embrace what God gave me. He
Right.
gave me these curves and my shape for a reason, you know. And I've tried to, with my platform, I Am Enough, is to empower women to love themselves and love what God has given us, and not have this perspective of others that you're not good enough because you are a plus woman, or you have curves, or you're not skinny,
Right.
because that's not the way it needs to be. And our young girls in the younger generation are being brought up the same way as to, if you're not skinny, you're not pretty.
Right.
That
Right.
is
Right.
not true at all. And however I can get the word out to the young girls, and, my granddaughter, she's just as sassy as she can be, and she's going to be just like me. I mean, she loves makeup. She loves the glitz and glamour. If I can get her into doing pageants, then she's going to be in it. So I'm just going to make a family tradition. I had my daughter in it till she was in high school. Um, Now I've got my granddaughter. I can continue doing them. I've taken this year off. And so I'm not really doing anything. I'm helping with our pageant this year, but I've taken this year off, so we'll see what happens after this year. But it's taken me a long time, and I've noticed over the years of doing pageantry of how much I have grown.
Wow.
And I can see a big difference in myself, my personality, and it's funny because when people meet me, they tell me they're intimidated by me, and I'm like, why are you intimidated by me? And I guess it's because I have so much self-confidence in myself. It shows. And I guess, I don't know, I'm just like, well, there's no need to feel intimidated, because I am the most sweetest and loving, caring person that you'll ever meet, and would never hurt anybody, and will do anything for anybody that I can. But it's just funny how they say, well, if I didn't know who you are,
Right. Right. Right.
you would scare me.
Well, and that's kind of the thing too when it comes to a confident woman. And that's one thing, that I've kind of felt, oh, hello there, Queen. We have a visitor.
Hello, hello.
I feel like, being a women's empowerment advocate, for one, like clear the air doesn't mean that I'm anti-male. Like I've been with my husband for 28 years.
Right,
Doesn't mean anything. I have a grandson that I love. Doesn't mean that I'm anti-male. But I think it's hard for people sometimes to understand that you can be pro something else without being anti something else. Like,
right,
they don't understand that, there's a gray area. So because I'm a confident woman, you're a confident woman, it doesn't mean that I assume that people are less than. My confidence does not take away from them in any way. And as
right,
women, I think that we don't always realize that we can wear both hats. You can be confident yourself. I take pride in being confident myself, but I love to empower, uplift, and encourage other women too,
right,
which is a big part of it. And so I think that's probably where the disconnect comes, because people, when they see a confident woman, they automatically assume sometimes, that we're arrogant, or that we're hard to talk to, we're not
exactly,
relatable. And so that's the biggest narrative that I want to try to change, is that women, you can be confident, you can do your self care. You can go out the house without makeup, you can go with makeup. And the biggest deal is you don't have to, you do it unapologetically. And
Right.
that, any woman is free to do what they want. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, you got somebody that's, yeah, admires your growth. And we have a mutual friend, Darlene Benesh is one of our
Yes.
mutual friends, one of our senior queens.
Yes.
She looks phenomenal. And so, like we were saying, because, age, and, you look phenomenal. When I met you in person, I'm like, y'all, she's even prettier in person than she is on
Oh, thank
camera. If you
you.
get, if you can believe it. But I think it's a wonderful thing. So tell us a little bit, like a day in the life. I know you're busy, you've been at work today and you're doing all the things. So what do you do for self-care? Like how does Kim take care of Kim? Because I already know that you take care of a lot of people in your life.
That I do. You know, I really don't have time for myself. I mean, I work about 10 and a half hours a day. I come home and I have my little Kirby, so I have to take care of him. He's 7, 8 months old. He's a Chorky, so he's my little sidekick. Everywhere I go, he's right there with me. Every step I take. Um, so I mean, pretty much my biggest thing is when for my relaxation, I love stoning. When I'm going into a pageant, I stone all of my outfits.
Nice.
There was one outfit that I did for nationals for today's international. My first year, it was a top with a train. I with had some. It was navy and green stripe. I placed 42,000 stones 42,000 stones on this outfit, and it took me 3 months and 150 hours to do it. And I
Wow.
worked full time. I worked for a law firm at the time, and it was during COVID, so I was at home. There was a lot of nights I stayed up till 6 a.m. in the morning and clocked in at 8 o'clock and went to work and worked all day long.
Wow. Wow.
So every year when I do a pageant, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what you bring this year."
What did you make? So, but that's cool that it's therapeutic. And I used to have an aunt that used to crochet, and that was very therapeutic for her. And I do think that it kind of, definitely can be a form of self care when you find something that allows you to kind of, work with your creative flow, and then you kind of get in the zone. And I will say that Kim has worked on, one of my garments, our latest, my T-shirt, the Queen Ambassador apparel line, which we're going to be showing soon. I told you, I said it's going to be, summer's going to be over, and
Yeah,
nobody has seen this T-shirt. It's just, you would think that a T-shirt is simple, but because of who I want this T-shirt to reach, it is, a line for plus size women. It's plus size apparel. And, then we were going back and forth with pricing and, just the options you think you should have. And I thought that I was going to make this simple by rolling out a T-shirt. And even with the shirt that you did, though, is so beautiful. I have got to get y'all, when you see the shirt, I sent Kim a couple samples to work on, and she just, like, bedazzled it is the word that I use, added bling. It's a panther's crown, and she added these beautiful rhinestones and just made it so, so pretty. So they are coming soon. They will be out before summer is over. Fortunately for us, where we live, it's so hot, like into October sometimes,
yeah.
that people can probably still wear them in October.
Oh yeah.
So I did want to ask you. So I know that you're busy with work. You took the year off, but what does next year look like for you in regards to pageants? Have you fathomed the idea of, what you don't have to spoiler alert and tell us which system you'll be in? I know you've got guest appearances coming up, but other than that, have you started looking at other systems that you'd be competing in?
No, actually, right now I really haven't thought about it. Right now life is just so hard and it's so complicated and so busy. I pretty much just take day to day and just see where things are going to go. Hopefully next year it'll be a whole lot different. Um, And with me working as much as I work, it's kind of hard. And I really haven't thought about where I'd want to be. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm always going to be a lifetime Today's International. Always.
Right.
That's my home. When I found them, I knew right then that's where I belong. So I've done the two or three titles or state titles at one time, and that's just not. I don't know how everybody does it. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. I mean, when you take pictures for one, you got to take pictures for all three.
Wow.
So when you go to a event, you've got to represent every one of them, and that's just hard. It's hard to do.
Mhm.
Um, so I may, it depends on if something hits me, if a system comes up, and I'm interested in. I may just stay. Today's International has been recently bought. It's under new ownership, new director. Um, and I may just be there just to help her from here on out and just,
Right.
and make my appearances. If there is something as far as like the ultimate or international queen that I can compete in, I might do that. It just depends on if something just really hits me at this
Right.
point.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
I
I love
totally
it.
get that.
I love it because I love the sisterhood. I love meeting everybody. Um, and I feel like if I didn't do something and not doing my blinging, I would probably go crazy
Right.
because I'm getting ready to start my opening number outfit for our pageant in August. So we're wearing jeans and we can do anything we want to with them.
Wow. I can only imagine what that looks like. Yeah, now I do add a little bling to outfits. I think a lot of us pageant queens, we will do that. But I will say, y'all, that Kim just takes it. If you haven't seen any of her pieces, she takes it to a whole nother level. But she does it as a hobby. So I'm trying not to overwhelm her with it being like an actual project. But
Well, I
we'll
have
see.
had people ask me about stoning a whole gown. When I
Wow.
did that one with the 42,000 stones on it, because I'll post videos,
Mm-hmm,
beginning
mm-hmm.
and during and then the final part. And then last year, I competed in the Ultimate Queen pageant at Today's International last year in Charleston. And what I had started doing was another one just like I did the first time with the 42,000 stones, but it was pink and white.
Wow.
Well, they changed the color to lavender. Well, I couldn't find anything. So I got them to switch it back to the pink. But then when I got the first set of stones and I needed more, they sent me the wrong color. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So I had to find a whole other top. So that top that I wore at my Charlotte photo shoot, it's got
Wow.
about 30,000 stones on it,
Oh gosh.
and I did that. And um, that didn't take me as long. But when I started that one, it was funny because I told the director, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do a whole lot of stoning on this one. No, that's just not Kim. So I started and I'm like, no, that's not enough. No, that's not enough. So I kept on and on. So here we are about 20 or 30,000 stones later.
Wow, but it's beautiful. It came out. I don't think the pictures did it justice. I mean, it's
No,
still pretty in pictures. I'm going to try to post some in the comments so people can see what you wore to the photo shoot and just, how much work, intricacy goes into when you do this work. I think it's beautiful. I'm happy that it's a habit that you're able to find like an outlet and you can enjoy. I will also say this that I didn't mention before that you are, because you scored so far, you're still in first place for People's Choice across the
yes,
board. That's in every region. And
yay.
so that puts Kim in the running for our Queen Ambassadors calendar, which I'm launching in January of 2024. So, and that'll be like the 12 calendar girls. I'm going to let the highest pick their birthday month. So I thought that would be fun. If you win and you get to be a Miss such and such, like you would
I'll
be
be
Miss
Miss
August.
August.
Yes, you would be Miss August, which would be so much fun. So anyway, I just think that you are a delight since day one when we met on Facebook, whenever that was. I feel like it was during the pandemic. I feel like it was during
Probably.
COVID when we were on lockdown.
Yeah.
Um, and then we got to meet, and you've been helping me, brainstorm with the t-shirts and getting like the bedazzle on there. And I just, I think that you're amazing. I love the work that you're doing, encouraging women that they are enough. And, and it,
Thank
it
you.
starts with you. So I'm so happy that we are, now we're friends and colleagues and all the things. And I'm sure we'll meet up again sooner than later
Oh
because
yeah,
now we're
I'm
neighbors.
sure.
I think there's a 6-minute drive in between the two of us. So, and I've been asked to judge a couple pageants, so I won't say.
Well,
I
you should
won't say.
come. You should come see us in August.
I won't say what they are. You never really know where I might pop in.
And
But
it's fun to actually to know that out of all the pageants that I have done, I can actually stay in my hometown and do a pageant
nice.
and not
Yeah.
have to travel.
I love that, years ago when I used to do more road trips doing more makeup and hair for pageants, I love that so much was in North Carolina. And y'all showed up and showed out. To date, y'all have been the biggest group that came in for the Miss Photogenic Model Search. Y'all are still by far. We had 17 models for Charlotte. And right now, the second highest is going to be Atlanta. And I think we're at maybe 14 for Atlanta. So they may tie, y'all. They're excited too. They're ready.
You know, me
But
and
anyway,
Darlene, me and Darlene, we were like, okay, we got to represent right here. We got to stay at least in the top three, if not the first top two. So we'll both, be first and second runner up. And
y'all did.
right at that last minute, I knew something was going to happen. So right at that last minute, somebody came in and swiped it right
It
away.
was, but yeah, but you know what? Y'all ran an amazing race. I know you're still in the running, and so I'm just excited to see how it turns out. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
It was
But
fun.
anyway, so I will have everyone. I will have Kim's information in the show notes of how you can reach her, how you can get in touch with her if you don't know already, and just kind of so you can help to follow her journey as well. So exciting. Thank you again,
Thank
Kim.
you.
All right. And everybody have a good night. And as always, here's to you becoming the best version of you.